From Tampa, Florida, it's about a 1,500-mile trip up the eastern seaboard to the town of Raymond, Maine. Here, SABER Yachts builds traditional sailboats and motor yachts inspired by Maine's vintage lobster and fishing boats. The company's motto, crafted in the Maine tradition, is also its creed.
Ships and boats have been built in Maine since 1640 when the first colonists settled here on the Kennebec River in Phippsburg, Maine. So it's an old traditional place for commercial boats to have been built.
Since its inception in 1970, SABER has taken tremendous pride in its storied New England maritime heritage. Back then, the company was building small sailboats. Today, SABER specializes in handcrafted semi-custom sailing and motor yachts. Known as a Down East boat, the 48 Salon Express honors the gentrification of traditional Maine lobster boats.
The style of the boat is really something that's what we call Down East, but in reality, this is a boat that performs like any other high-performance modern cruising yacht.
It all begins at SABER's sister company, Back Cove Yachts. Located 85 miles east in Rockland, Maine, only the ship's fiberglass hulls are made here, using SABER's resin vacuum infusion process, a fabrication technique that utilizes vacuum pressure to drive resin into a laminate. This offers a better fiber-to-resin ratio than more commonly used hand layup or vacuum bagging techniques. Once the prep work has been completed, infusion occurs naturally as atmospheric pressure forces the resin into the laminate via vacuum tubing.
It's going to start filling from the center out. As it fills, it's just going to work its way up, push whatever air is left out the vacuum lines, which is inside the bag.
After curing for 2 to 3 hours, the vacuum tubing is removed, revealing the finished shell of the boat. The deck and small composite parts of each boat will also be built using this process.
The infusion process allows us to build fiberglass parts, which are stronger, lighter, and give the boat better performance.
An added benefit of this high-tech approach versus traditional handmade fiberglass is its low impact on the environment.
And the infusion process prevents us from putting unwanted materials into the atmosphere.
From start to finish, the entire hull building process takes 2 weeks to complete.
These are custom built. Each boat is built, one at a time, although we have the added challenge of having to do that on more of a production schedule where we are cycling these part sets every 2 weeks.
The finished hulls are then transported back to SABER's main facility in Raymond, where the business of building the 48-footer will continue for the next 4 months. And in the center of it all is the 48 Salon Express, currently under construction. It's a model that's been very successful for SABER and remains so today. The company heritage runs deep, and its manufacturing processes blend the new with the old.
What they're doing now is building the head units for the 48. They're building it the older school way with open molding. It's building it up layer after layer after layer of glass, and then when they're done, it'll all cure and set up. As you can tell, they wear suits, and the resin gets everywhere. The floor has to be covered all the time, so it's not covered in resin and chopped fiberglass.
As the fiberglass work continues, SABER's seasoned woodworkers are simultaneously handcrafting additional components necessary to keep the project on schedule. Woodwork requires finish to enhance its natural beauty, and SABER's got a dedicated varnish room for just that purpose. In here, every single piece of wood receives 2 sealers and 2 coats of varnish.
We're working with cherry wood. It's about a 4-day process per table. The second coat is the actual resin, and in that process on the final coat, we take a torch and get all the bubbles out. Any bubbles that don't come out within the process, because you only have a certain amount of time to work with the epoxy, then I wet sand it, and then it gets buffed.
Clearly, there's a lot of TLC invested in every one of these boats. And speaking of investments,
The SABER 48 is priced at $980,000 as a base price. Typically, they would go into the customer's hands at about $1.2 million.
the engine room houses twin 550 horsepower Cummins QSC diesel engines.
We're in the important end, the magic of the SABER 48, the engine room. We're near completion of what we call the engine room phase.
Beyond making sure this yacht can move, A lot of attention is put into making sure this yacht can move quietly.
Quiet in a very big way speaks to luxury, the same way that it would in a luxury automobile. And that is why we focus so very hard on the SABER 48, on all of those things that happen when you're underway. And that's what our customers really come for, and that's what they get.
There's still much to be done on board before this Saber can rattle. Back in Maine, the SABER 48 Salon Express is coming together, literally. Once the deck has been secured to the hull, the process of finishing the woodwork can begin in earnest. With all available hands on deck, the woodwork progresses quickly. Wiring the boat is the next all-important order of business.
There's actually 3 of us that do the electrical work. I do all the finish work. There's at least 3 miles of wire in this boat.
It takes a team of 25 craftsmen working at the same time to complete the build. That's a lot of man-hours.
Every 10 days, one of these 48-foot motor yachts goes out the door. This is something that amazes me.
Welcome aboard the SABER 48. This cockpit is very, very friendly. Lots of room, lots of seating space in this L-shaped CT. Opposite another small CT. Great cockpit table that opens up and reduces in size with a nice sturdy handhold here. One of the features in the 48 that's really neat is this dedicated area of space for fenders and line stowage right here in the cockpit. So when you're leaving the dock, real easy to stow your fenders and gear. One of the unique features that we've developed into the SABER 48 is a swimming platform that's offset to the port side. So it's a telescopic ladder that goes out with a handle here to get on and off with our convenient hot and cold water shower. Here we're at the helm. Entertainment system pops up and keeps us well disguised, doesn't interfere with your enjoyment of the boat underway. One of the coolest features, literally, on this boat is this really cool sunroof. But it's got a screen, a bug screen that you can close, and a screen you can close up when you don't want all that sun in. This little CT looks pretty innocent, but I press this little button, and it comes forward. What this exposes is the stairway to the 3rd berth, which is a great surprise and a huge, huge benefit in a 48-foot boat. Down a couple of quick steps, and you're down in this great galley. And I say down, you're not really down. You've still got visual with everybody in the salon, and you're not being punished for being down the galley. This is a great space, a window to look outside. Here at the hull, Kohler stainless sinks, great countertops, and great appliances throughout the whole boat. Right off that beautiful galley is the master stateroom. Plenty of space, hanging lockers on both sides, great ventilation, with an amazing, amazing bathroom.
And as good as she looks at the dock, just wait until you see her where she really shines.
We build a boat that's steady under your feet, that does really, really well in the ocean, performs very well under power, and is kind of a practical yet elegant motor yacht.